So yesterday we went to the city with the ferry, like you guys have seen. It's actually funny, we just wanted an excuse to go into the city again with the ferry. It's quite nice, and I wanted to buy some electronics. So there's an electronics store in the city, but it's quite a far walk, and the ferry arrives just after, when was it, 11:30, and the next ferry goes back to Hoffman Bay at about 12:30. So we ended up having to kind of speed walk to the shop, get everything that I wanted, which cost a total of $2.50, and then run all the way back and just make it in time for the ferry. Luckily the ferry was a little bit delayed, so but it's quite ironic because the ferry trip cost a lot more than what the stuff cost that we actually bought, but it was still a nice experience, and something that we want to try and do a little bit more often. Go into the city, maybe eat a little breakfast or something, and then take the ferry back. It's quite nice. So it's now a lazy Sunday morning, just tidied up a bit here in the house, and gonna make a nice breakfast now. There you go, breakfast for two, all made at home, nice and healthy, well,
healthy-ish.
nice and nice. So what did we do the rest of the day, rest of the weekend? Didn't do much, stayed at home, cleaned a bit, and did washing and stuff like that. Went to Bunnings quickly, bought a couple of multi-plugs, and
got makeup.
Not at Bunnings, but got makeup for Fonette at Pakuranga Plaza. And what else did we get at Bunnings? I got some legs for the table in the garage to lift it up a little bit and stabilize it a bit more. Yeah, so just had a real lazy Sunday at home and cleaned up a bit, and I mowed the lawn yesterday, so that's a good opportunity. We had good weather this weekend. This is the second time we're walking this route now. It's a little bit further away from our house, so we actually drive to this one spot here and then walk. But the first time we came here, it was I think it was last weekend or the weekend before last weekend, and we decided to come here, and we walked probably like a kilometer away from the car, and it just started pouring down, so that was fun. we bought a heater. I don't know if I mentioned that, so that's nice. That it's not a very big heater, but it really warms up the entire home, or the room. If you close the doors and you put it in a room, then that room becomes nice and hot very quickly, and it doesn't have a fan that blows air in your face and stuff like that, so it's quite a nice heater. Yeah, so nice day today. So I saw this photo on Facebook today about, it was like a small little joke about what the weather's like in New Zealand, and then it has a picture of the North and the South Island, and everywhere at each major town it just says cold as, and cold as, and then at Christchurch or Queenstown it says snowy and stuff. And I thought I mean, it's obviously a joke and it's quite funny, but I just thought that it's, as you guys have heard me say a couple of times, it's really not that cold. And comparing, I think, Auckland's weather, comparing that with like Pretoria or Johannesburg, honestly it's colder in Pretoria and Johannesburg than it is here. We've had a cold snap the last week or so, and it snowed in some parts of the country, but honestly the snow didn't even reach the middle of the North Island. And even during those cold snap moments during the last week or so where we had the cold snap, it was still, what, 7? I think the lowest that I saw was 7 or something on my way to work. And let's be honest, it feels much colder when it's 7 in Auckland, but it still doesn't feel the way it felt when it's -2 in Pretoria or Johannesburg some days. So on average so far, if you're living in the North Island and you're living in the northern half of the North Island, then I'm pretty sure it's colder in Cape Town than it is in Auckland, to be honest. Well, it rains a lot. That has to be said. It is an island. It rains a lot.